Good afternoon. And in another case, get woke, go broke. I mean, they're not broke yet, but let's see. Let's see what says here. This is from iNews. As usual, the link in the description. Even if I don't say, I'll paste the link in the description. Okay, let's get into it. Unilever, Chair's fall as a fund manager accuses of losing the plot over sustainability. So this is something I've been repeating again and again. The number one rule of a business is make money. Number 2 rule is do not forget rule number 1. So what's going on? Let's see. The owner of brands including Hellman, Walls, and Dove, and many more. Yeah, that's a hell of a. Has been accused by fund manager Terry Smith, to whom we're going to go quickly, of putting sustainability before running the business because, spoiler, you need to run a business. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy that Terry Smith has to tell you that the main purpose of a business is to run a business. Let's see what happened. Food giant, food and many things, among other things. Sorry's share price tank after its sustainability strategy came under fire from a leading fund manager. The UK-based owner of brands including Hellmann's, Vaseline, they're gonna need some. Shure and Ben & Jerry was accused by Terry Smith, some mad lad Terry Smith, some old-fashioned asset manager at Fondsmith, who still believe that the purpose of business is to make money, and in turn for him to make money. Oh, you need to come up with the time, Terry. You're a dinosaur, Terry. The goal of business is advanced progressivism and social equality and justice and whatever the hell is the purpose of progress this day. Smith, who has totally have a point, crazy, was reported in the Financial Times, no less. I'm gonna have to read this. As having used his annual letter to investors to berate the food and personal care firm for prioritizing sustainability credentials, i.e. virtue signaling, at the expense of business. Listen, Terry, I'm pretty sure I will like you, and I would like to, if you ever see this video, I would like to buy you a pint. Make it 2. If we're in a Wetherspoon in Manchester. Make it 2 pints. Make it 2 pints? But let me explain you. These times, nowadays, no one cares about things like vile metal, that income, profits, expenses, balance sheet, income statement. No, Terry. You're a dinosaur, Terry. You still believe the purpose of business is to make money? You need to get up with the times, Terry. This base bloke fund manager wrote. Okay, I'm trying. I have no idea how you sound. I'll try to impersonate your voice. Unilever seems to be laboring under the weight of a management which is obsessed with publicly displaying sustainability credentials, i.e. virtue signaling. That's another addendum of mine. At the expense of focusing on the fundamentals of the business. Yeah, what's this? 20th century? By mid-range shares listing the FTSE 100 went down. Oh dear. I need to check. We're down over 1% and close to 4,000 P. Mr. Smith said Unilever's share price, which has fallen nearly 10% in the last 12 months. Really? Well, that's totally opposite of the FTSE 100. What's this? FTSE 100 in the last 12 months, it's gone up like, it went up 12%. Unilever went down nearly 10%. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good to know. He cited Unilever's involvement in the raw of a refusal to supply Ben & Jerry's ice cream in the West Bank. Okay, that's well, you do have some business choices there. The decision to define the purpose of Hellmann's mayonnaise as example of when it has clearly lost the plot. Yeah, yeah. When someone tries to define the purpose of mayonnaise, you should have some suspicions. Okay, Terry, who apparently has no hairs in his tongue. oh dear! I would like to have a time in a pod with this lad. This is gonna be some fun. The Hellmann's brand has existed since 1913, so we would guess that by now consumers have figured out its purpose. Oh, this is some lad. Yeah. Spoiler alert, salads and sandwiches. Oh, this Terry. Seriously, if anyone knows Terry, I want to buy him a couple pints. Yeah, I want to know him. He has to be some guy. Mr. Smith, who hasn't finished yet, said the negative contribution of Unilever, along with the shares including PayPal, along with other shares including PayPal, meant Fundsmith, the equity fund, fell short of its benchmark of the MSCI World Index. Now we're talking, Terry. Now we're talking. That's why you care. And yeah, I would care. If I were you, I would be worried about that. And after my last video, yeah, I would be worried. The fund was up 22.1%, while the index gained 22.9%. Yeah, you would say that's no big deal, but when you have is 0.8%, when you have how much does Terry have? 29 billion. Let's see, 29 billion, 29 times 0.8%, 0.8%. That's 200 times 1,000 million, 232 million pounds. Yeah. I would be uncomfortable if I were you, Terry. Yeah. Yeah, I see you, Terry. I understand. Still, I want to buy you a beer. I'll say it again and again. I'll probably say it again. Mr. Smith set up funding in 2010. The company claimed to take to heart Sir John Templeton's action that if you want to have a better performance than the crowd, you must do things differently from the crowd. Yes. As a start, not virtue signaling. That's a good start, Terry. I like you. Really like you. Darius McDermott, managing director of Chelsea Financial Services, said, Jerry is a very good investor. Yeah, I had my suspicion that he was, but he likes what he says, and he says what he likes. I'm starting to like this Terry folk. He's never claimed to have an ESG focus, which is, if you ask me, and if you're watching this video, you probably are asking me indirectly, it's a good thing, isn't it? His performance speaks for itself, yeah. So does the size of the fund. Okay, Darius. James Yardley, senior research analyst at Chelsea Financial Services, because we didn't bother to go somewhere else. He's probably around too. Say he could see why Mr. Smith made some of the comments. Oh, you really? Terry has a point. Mayonnaise doesn't need to be redefined. Imagine my shock. That's it. Oh dear. That's it. Nothing good. After you say something good, nothing good comes after that's it. In my opinion, that is James Yardley's opinion. Let me get in character. That said, in my opinion, Unilever is absolutely right to think about the sustainability of products and supply chain. Yeah, that's the word you deserve. Yardley, Jimmy Boy, Jimbo. These issues are a major threat to future long-term profit. For example, palm oil, which leads to the destruction of forests and the environment. Ice cream is bad for our health and is contributing to the obesity and diabetes crisis, you know. As healthcare systems are put on the most strain, it's time to reason that governments will look to governments. Well, all right, I have to stop here. To make companies take responsibility. No. It's not the responsibility of the companies. You know whose responsibility is? Individual responsibility. I need to stop here and make a point. No, it gets worse. Hold on, it gets worse. There isn't sugar tax is an example of this. Companies like Unilever should be thinking about these issues now. No! You see? So they can get ahead of the curve. It's absolutely right that you do this for the benefit of shareholders, but it's not for the benefit of shareholders. How come? How come damage your company's image, your bottom line? How come does it benefit the shareholders? Okay, let's start and go back to this. Consumers are also not blind and will look much more kindly on companies which are looking after the planet and the customer. In which planet? Maybe in Chelsea, maybe in your metropolitan environment, probably, because you're arrogant, patronizing metropolitan hipsters. Yeah, you know what? You know what consumers are looking after? Good products, good prices. That's what consumers are after. Don't tell me what consumers are after. I'm a consumer. Don't tell me you arrogant. What is his name? Jimbo? Is it Jimbo? Jimbo Jadley? Jimmy? Don't come to me with this. Consumers are not blind. Of course, consumers are not blind. You know what they are not blind to? When they try to squeeze money from them. That's what they are not blind. Do you know which company they look much more kindly? Companies that have good products at competitive prices. Because, and maybe you didn't study economics, but consumer try to maximize the useful of their money. All right? Maybe in your hipster neighborhood, metropolitan neighborhood, maybe you care about that thing, which I doubt you care, but it looks good in an interview. Okay, so let's go back here, because stand to reason that governments will look to make companies take responsibility. As I said before, it's not the company's responsibility. Ice cream does not contribute to obesity. You know what contributes to obesity? Too much ice cream. And yeah, you know why? This is an unpopular opinion. You know why healthcare system are on the most strain? Because they are public. Because people don't have to pay. If people, now you mentioned obesity. This is for everything. This is for smoking. This is for alcohol, for obesity, and everything else. You know what people don't care? What people don't take personal responsibility? I mean, many people do, but because they care about their health. You won't see responsible people obese, or usually not with diabetes, except when it's inherited diabetes, which there's not much you can do. But type 2 diabetes, obese people, no. It doesn't matter how much ice cream is in sale, because they have self-control, because they can delay gratification, and that's probably why they are where they are. You know what will solve all the smoking, alcoholism? I mean, it won't solve it for good. You will still have, but it will be at minimal levels. You know what? You know how? With private health. I mean, any public service is a money thing. It will cost you more and more and more from taxpayers' money. But private, when you have private healthcare and you have to pay your own health insurance premium, when you go and say, please stand on the balance. Yeah, your BMI is a bit on the obese side. We're gonna need to increase your premium. Then people will care. then people will care. When they have to pay more health insurance because they are obese, and they say, well, if you were less obese, we would charge you a smaller premium, maybe. Cetera paribus. The reason sugar tax is no, it's not. No, it's not. The sugar tax has not fixed anything. The only thing the recent sugar tax is an example is to squeeze more money from poor people, which I believe is the point anyway. So in that sense, it made its purpose, it's accomplished its purpose. But no, look, the companies are not responsible for you to eating 2 kilos of ice cream in a single sitting. All right? I'm sorry, Tori. Back to you. Sorry, I had to say that. Von Smith is owned and controlled by his partner. His headquarters in London, the city of London, I will presume, with offices in Connecticut, USA, and Mauritius. Leave it there. As 31st December 2020, Von Smith managed 33,000 million on behalf of some of the world's largest and most sophisticated wealth managers and private banks, as well as for prominent families. Good for Terry. A Unilever spokesperson told iNews that because the company was in a closed period, it was unable to comment. iNews also contacted a number of fund managers who held Unilever shares, and they say they would not comment. Yeah, I would. Okay, so are we? I have a question, the Jinning question. Are we losing our minds? Oh, am I the only one losing his mind, and everyone is right, or everyone's losing their mind, and Terry and I are the few people left sane? I want to know. And I want to buy Terry a couple pints. So you know Terry Smith from Smith Fund? Tell him he has a fan. Okay, that's it. In a sense, I'm sad for the poor sods who invest in the first 100, and the people who have shares in Unilever, who still have shares in Unilever. There's still time to sell them, I guess. But this is yet another case of go woke, get broke. I hope this was informational, at least. So don't forget to vote with your wallets, because we all are the market. Cheers.